I tell folks all the time, people come here and they say, I want to build a Baddour Center in Colorado or in Florida, and they've been here from those two places and others asking what is the formula. And I'll say, it's not a secret. It's the people, and it's a mixture of residents and their families and loved ones, and a mixture of the wonderful team of staff people that Baddour Center has, and the vendors and the donors and the people who come together to make Baddour Center what it is. I mean, you can't go out and just concoct that.
My father, Paul Baddour, had a couple heart attacks and knew that he was the doctors told him he would not survive the next one. So he actually sat me down before he died and told me that he had put a bequest in the will. My father had become a Christian late in life, felt like he had not given all he should, and he told me that he was giving this bequest. I was the executor of the estate. So upon his death, which he was 55 and I was about 25, I was charged with responsibility of being executor. We just wanted to do something unique and different, and that was needed. It was a fall day in Oxford, Mississippi. We invited a number of people to come meet with our family and present their proposals of how they would use the money. And there was one that stood out. It was from a gentleman from an organization called Seymour. And he was a Methodist, and he said, in the Methodist church in the world, nothing really has been done for these special people of God. And the fact that my mother's sister, my first cousin, was named Peggy, and in those days was called retarded, and she lived in the state institution in South Mississippi, Ellisville. So because of that interest and concern, and because there was nothing being done for 3% of our population, really, our family decided this was the way we wanted to go. December the 8th, 1978, we admitted our first resident.
I moved to Senatobia in July of 1979 and started work on Monday, August the 2nd, 1979, 40 years ago, almost 40 years ago. I'd like to think that we're bigger and better and fancier, perhaps a little bit more sophisticated today. But 40 years ago, it was still a lot of fun. When I came, there were only 12 residents. The original 9 group homes were in place and furnished. We didn't have a lot of things back in the day that we have now, such as we didn't have a clinic, we didn't have nurses, we didn't have computers, so we weren't able to communicate through email. So we didn't have a lot of the things that we have now. We did have a residential program. We were teaching independent living skills 40 years ago. We had an awesome vocational department. At the time, we made funeral wreaths and built pallets and pillows. At one time, we even had a t-shirt silk screening operation. So the jobs have certainly changed over the last 40 years. And recreation is recreation. It's all about the fun. We've always known how to party and have a good time. So lots of things have changed, but I think that the most significant thing that has not changed is the fact that the mission of Baddour Center has remained constant.
I have lived here 40 years as of the 2nd of January of 79. There were 3 houses opened up, which was Cleveland, Greenwood, and West, but now it's Denny. There were 5 residents. I did basketball, and I was also on the square dancing team called the AC Doocies. I was also with the Miracles for 10 years. I sang at the White House for President Reagan. The Crystal Cathedral in Garden Grove, California with Dr. Robert Schuller, and also the Marble Collegiate Church in New York City with Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, and also the Fellowship of Christian Living with Dr. Peale in Mexico City, Mexico.
I just thought it was a peaceful, relaxing place, just serene, a wonderful place to be. As far as the residents go, it's like their community. This is their home. They are the population that lives here. They allow us to come to work here every day. That's probably what sticks out in my mind the most, is that it's built around the service to the residents. I think employees here have a servant heart, and they're here and they're all about the residents. They're here to serve the residents, and I think they're a dedicated group of folks.
I like living here because it's a nice place. The good Lord gave us a good place to live. The people loved me and they took care of me.
I had been kind of resistant to the idea of him living in a group home kind of environment, or on a campus type environment. But we decided to take a chance and go look at it. And we were so impressed, and Eric seemed to be so impressed, that we took him back down there to check, to get all set up and move in about 3 or 4 days later, I think. We just kept noticing all these improvements that kept, happening, and including his ability to communicate and his ability to reason things out. Those things have continued to be evolving all along. And certainly his social skills got better. But then in the miracles, he also got a lot of experiences, like singing at Lincoln Center, and he has been all over the country, with the miracles. And those are experiences that not many young people have, and it's just tremendously warming for us to have that possibility available to him.
We are very fortunate to have the Baddour Center care so much for him. I'll get weepy here in a minute. But, he's just, he would have never had the experience in his life like he's had now. And I don't think he would have been the man he is.
And I don't know where you could find another organization that exemplifies God's love like Baddour does. I mean, everybody there on the staff has great skills and great ability to relate and to help Eric, but the just pure out and out love that gets shown to him and all the other residents is just kind of overwhelming.
My name is Michael Dean, and I work at the Baddour Garden Center. I started working here January the 12th. 1987, that was on a Monday. I water plants when they asked me to, and I help customers. I love my job. I love working outside, give me a lot of exercises. See, I'm always enjoying doing outside work. I got a whole lot of friends who live here on campus and work here.
My name is Wesley Bucknam. I started in 2018. I like hanging out with my housemates and friends at Baddour.
We had never really intended for Amory to leave home, but we saw that in her best interest, we needed to search and find a place where she could have a full life.
We didn't even know that communities like Baddour existed. We actually, going to listen to the miracles and coming out here was the first indication that we had that it was here, and we just fell in love with it when we came out and said that's a place for Amory to be.
When she came to Baddour, they worked with her, and now she is completely independent, does her own laundry, cooking, job. She was very shy before she came here, and no longer is she shy. She interacts all the time, and just so happy. I think most importantly, Baddour has provided her with her own life, not just going places with us, but her own life, that she can tell her brother and sister about her life and what she does, and she has friends, and we couldn't provide that for her. And Baddour has certainly provided a full, happy life for her in all aspects, with her feeling of self-worth, with her job.
The employees here at Baddour, it's a calling. It's not a job. That the staff love the residents and they love what they do.
We just wanted her to have the absolute best life she could, and we found it here.
We did.
Well, Amy was, she's 2 years younger than I am, and so I went away to college, of course, when I was 18, I guess, and so I know thereafter Mom and Dad were trying to find a place, that for Amy to go where she'd be comfortable. Her independence is the biggest thing. She's been, coming down here, she has she has friends, she's got a job, she's got, a community that she didn't have at home. She was very lonely, I think, at home. I would sing, but my sister would kill me if I did that, so I'll just say happy birthday, Baddour. So.
Happy birthday, Baddour.
Go Baddour, you've been wonderful for our family. Thank you.
Ditto.
Happy birthday, Baddour! Happy birthday, Baddour Center!
Happy birthday, Baddour Center!
Happy birthday, Baddour!
Happy birthday, Baddour Center.
Happy birthday, Baddour!
Happy birthday, Baddour.
Happy birthday, Baddour Memorial Center.